Eddie got a brand new car for his birthday, and for people that did get it, fuck you guys. But the rest of us didn't get brand new.
I had to work like 7 years for my car.
Here we go, and this is where the story where I was gonna try to finish with the Photoshop thing. What happened? So
yeah, Eddie paid for his whole car off.
So here it is. Here it was. This is my story on how the car came to be.
All right.
So, back in that day, I remember, my dad was, working. We were going on the same damn bike to go to work and stuff, and he would take me on this bike to go to this 1 hour photo place so you get like a certain invitation done for a quinceañera or a wedding, and he would pay like $200, $300.
Eddie, your dad was a photographer.
Yeah,
he had his photography business.
No, he didn't have one. He worked for one. Like he worked as a
okay.
So
how did you make money from it?
Okay, so when he would take me to the an hour when somebody else that would do the editing, he would sit me down and be like, "Hey, you see that guy in the chair over there, nice with a nice little suit and little like tie and stuff, and like he doesn't get up. Everybody else is like taking pictures and moving around, and there's a lot of like like trying to make kids laugh and just being like clowns for the pics and stuff." So he would tell me like, "You see that guy over there that just like sitting down in his desk like having coffee and editing? He's working on the invitations that I'm paying him for like $200-$300 so I can make copies of this so that I could sell and then get a cut from from my so when I sell it to the quinceañera or the wedding person, right?" And he told me, "If you could learn this, man, we would totally make it because I'm here every weekend." Like, and I'm like, "Okay, cool, Dad, whatever," but I don't want to be like, this guy editing and stuff. But it just so happened to be that we were in the selective, like Tony was saying, that I learned Photoshop. So I learned Photoshop. If anybody knows anything about Photoshop, is that you could do anything to, pictures, and save them and do anything from graphic designs to, just art and the whole different ways. So I picked this up and I learned like, oh, here's my opportunity to help my family that didn't have a car, that I would literally be like on the bike, like my dad would take me to go see this guy that would be doing this stuff. And I was learning this in the class, and I told my dad, I was like, "Hey, Dad, I think I'm learning this. Like, let me see how this goes." The point is that I would stay after school, or I'll try to talk to this guy to learn more, to do a better job than just whatever the projects were. And I got good enough at this, with spending time there and doing this, that I did a mock-up of a quinceañera for my dad. And he was almost like breaking down in tears that I did that, because it was so new. Like Photoshop was new, doing all the letterings and the fonts and the fading and the saturation, and I knew how to do all that stuff because from a photographer's son, I know how to like to play with the colors to make it look more realistic, or do this to certain stuff. So like I was able to add artistic stuff to what I needed to get done, like in a Mickey Mouse way, or just kind of like
a star wipe.
Yeah, a star wipe.
Well,
yeah. But this is hold on. But this is Photoshop. This is only photos. Like this is not video yet. So I did it only on photos, and he basically
the school dances where he
yeah, where I could add stuff like this is prom 2022. But basically this was like it's like me going to space for my dad. Like this was like me going to being the first man on the moon type of thing, because he did not know anything with computers or anything with Photoshop or graphic or anything. He just knew that the guy that was sitting over there was editing that type of stuff. So I did this. My dad took a big chance on me, and we had gotten my first computer from one of like a hand-me-down. So one of my dad's, the guy that owned the 1 hour photo stuff that he worked with, his son was going to college or he needed a new one. Basically I got his hand-me-down computer, and I'm like, oh, this is cool. Like now I just need to figure out how to get Photoshop on here or whatever. But he put all of our savings, which we didn't have a lot, but he put our savings so he could buy Photoshop. And that was a big deal, because I'm there now. I'm like damn, like this is all on me. Like this is literally our savings to put on this Photoshop program to get some type of shit out. And I basically I went at it, and it was every weekend, bro. Weddings, bodas, bautizos. I was doing the invitations, and I was doing the invitation not just for my dad's stuff, but for other people that were also photographers that needed stuff. And then and that's how that's how the car came to be at the end of the day, because my dad is like, hey son, like, you did this, and I want you to like, have this like as a token. Like, hey, we wouldn't have gotten this far if you had not done this for it, and that's why the car came.
So you learned
that's cool.
You learned Photoshop, and then you ended up buying a brand new Civic.
Yeah, those are the days where like we thought we were ballers. My dad didn't know anything about like interest rate. Like, it's an immigrant thing. It's like he didn't have credit cards, so my dad was like, "Oh, I have the cash. I'm just gonna buy it." Like, or I have the whatever to put down.
How much was it when you bought it?
I don't know any of the. This gift was when I was going to go to like college, like, so I was like junior year or senior year.
Yeah.
So I don't know, that was all them. I didn't handle no money stuff. They were just like, here you go, I did it, and my dad would like.
And what was your license plate?
My license plate was AJZ.
AJZ.
Yeah.